October 24th, call voter report roll.
Councilmember Cosarelli?
Here.
Kennedy?
Here.
Nattari?
Here.
Robel?
Here.
Strumelberg? Present. Mayor Kibble?
Here. Motion to go in front?
Make a motion to go in private?
Second.
Because, did you guess, to discuss negotiations and
Contract
negotiations.
negotiations, legal things.
Clerk call roll.
Councilmember Cosarelli?
Yeah.
Kennedy?
Yes.
Nattari?
Yes.
Robel?
Yes.
Strumelberg? Yes. Mayor Kibble?
Clerk call roll.
Councilmember Cosarelli?
Here.
Kennedy?
Present.
Nattari?
Here.
Robel?
Here.
Strumelberg? Present. Mayor Kibble?
Here. Pledge allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to
the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Sunshine notice.
Notice of this meeting has been given to the press and public in accordance with the Open Public Meetings Law.
Approval of minutes.
No minutes at this time, Mayor.
Before I take the report of the manager, I'm going to go out of order tonight, and we have a special resolution dedicating a street name which for Patrick Dunn. Pat was a fireman who had many dealings with, both as a police chief and a town manager. He was the FMBA president. He always fought hard for his men. He was a good firefighter. And I see the families here. We would like to acknowledge that tonight. And ready to read the resolution?
Yeah, Patrick Dunn passed away on February 4th, 2005 from cancer, which he had gotten from helping out 9/11. So his daughter, Katie, is here, and she's gonna stand up and say a little bit about her father.
Hi, everybody, I'm Katie Dunn. My dad, you know, he lived and breathed Belleville. He grew up in this town on Wilson Place. He met my mom on Wilson Place when they were kids growing up. My grandfather was a fireman in Belleville too, and he still lives in the same house that my dad grew up in. He was the president of the FMBA. You know, he loved this town. Everything he did, he loved, and he fought for this town. I'm sure many of you can remember how many times he's been in here and he spoke at town council meetings. You know, just want to thank you guys for bringing this up, and I think it's a really wonderful honor. And I think if you don't know anything about this man, you can come to any one of us and we'll tell you about him. Thank you.
Can I just think, why are you sitting here? So, Pat graduated in '72, which I happen to be, that's my class as well. So, 2 weeks ago, we had our 45th reunion down in Charlotte, and we're all talking about Pat. Pat was, it was funny too, because I went, when Barbara Tuck passed away, I went to the wake, and her husband goes, she was the female Pat Tuck. So, and everybody knew that. I mean, loved the people, loved his FMBA. I mean, you know, that was his heart and soul. He loved Belleville High School, he loved to play football, he was a great guy, and I appreciate him because he was, you know, during a crazy, crazy time when they went after the fire and policemen. This was just after 9/11. Pat actually sat out in front of the wreck for me, which, as you all know, as a fireman, that's something you don't do. But I greatly appreciated him, and it's sad to lose him, and, you know, God bless you all. We need to remember people like Pat.
Thank you.
I was here during those chaotic years when he was defending the firemen, and you knew he was trying to ruin the town. And let me tell you, you talk about a dedicated man. You know, some people would have just walked away. And I wish I knew about this resolution sooner, because I would have included it when we did the policemen and the fire people that got killed, those street namings. But this is a good honor for him. I think he's up there smiling.
Yeah, no doubt.
I love Pat Dunn too. He was just great, and he didn't care what ward you lived in or what, and he would always come to our Silver Lake Feast and make sure he made those shish kebabs. Okay? And I have to say he's one of the finest firemen that I know. And I am so proud that he is a part of my first ward on Wilson Place. rest in peace. Pat Dunn, we love you.
Yeah, this is a great honor for you, the family, and also for us in Belleville. I knew Pat. Pat was a great guy, and Pat said it the way it was. And there was nothing phony about Pat at all. And I didn't realize he died in 2005, but he is greatly missed, but he has left a great legacy behind. Thank you.
And I know Pat also very well. I knew his father. As a matter of fact, when I was able, I played softball with the fire department, with the fire, and I enjoyed both of them. So, it's a great honor, and congratulations.
Yeah, we'll let you know when the dedication will actually be. We have to order the sign and everything, so we'll keep you posted.
When is it?
No, he
No,
said, let us know.
We have to order the sign.
We're ordering the sign. Hopefully it'll be a warm, well, the way the weather's going, it'll probably be in warm weather
Yeah, it'll
soon.
probably be warmer, so.
Let his father know we're asking for him.
No, you're
We'll
welcome.
get it.
You're welcome to stay. If you want to leave, you can leave.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Appreciate it.
Report to the manager.
Yes. The Belleville Police Department held a community outreach party on Saturday, the 21st. It was a huge success. I want to congratulate the chief and the entire department for all the hard work that they put into that to make that a success. It was at the Little League Field and over 300 people attended. So job well done, chief.
Very good, Chief.
Yes, very good.
I'd like to thank Public Works for preparing that venue for us, and thank Bill Gilbert and Public Works. They did a great
Good
job.
cooperation. All right, second item is we had a water main break on Sunday, October 15th on Franklin Avenue near Berkeley. Our guys made a repair and put everything back in service. We had our first wedding, this is monumental, at the Soho Sitting Park on Saturday the 21st. And it was a wonderful event. I know Councilwoman Burke is going to speak about it, but I'd like to commend our DPW guys for cleaning it up and sprucing it up and the plantings that were there. It was appreciated by everyone.
Yes, it was beautiful, and I'll tell you, I even cried. I always cry at weddings, but they had their beautiful van, just married, and two little flower girls with their little dresses on, and the music, and all the flowers, and the people, and this is something good for the town. We need more things like this to get Belleville back to the way it was.
Alrighty, my next item is the Silver Lake Firehouse is on schedule. Plumbing work is being finished up. Downstairs area is being sheetrocked, and on tonight's agenda, you'll see a change order for a structural beam that was not anticipated, and for a door to provide us access to the basement from the exterior of the building. Concerning our roadway improvements, the contractor's almost done with the concrete work on Walnut Street, and they're going to move on to Brighton Avenue for some spot concrete improvements, and the contractor will be contacting his milling and paving crew, and the paving should occur sometime in November. And last but not least, our generator project, which we spoke about at several meetings, is in fact complete. The generators have been exercised and everything is okay. And this was a total project of $650,000, of which $500,000 was a grant. That's all I have.
No?
No.
Yeah, I just want to talk a little about that outreach party that went on Saturday. I give credit to Chief Menachini because he started this a year ago, and this is something that a lot of towns and cities want to do, to have the community get to know the police. And it was really a very good event. They had tables there, T-shirts, the SWAT team was there, there were pictures taken with the cops, and a lot of the kids, some of the kids came in little cop, I guess, Halloween costumes. And Mark's goal is, and we talked about this, many years ago when we were kids growing up, the police, they were always considered the good guy, our friends, and over the years that has changed, and Mark is trying to bring that back, where we get to know the cops, especially the young kids. So I know a lot of the cities are really trying to do this. Mark, they can take lessons from you. And again, it was really nice to see so many of these little kids in Halloween costumes to be cops and taking pictures. And a lot of them were thrilled to be taking a picture with Chief Menachini and other cops that are so big in size next to these little kids. And I was kidding Mark, I said, well, maybe this year the #1 Halloween costume will be Mark Menachini.
Oh, my God, I can just imagine
That's a
that.
scary costume.
Actually, it's half price. Also, this Saturday is the Halloween celebration at Belleville High School, Saturday, October 28th, between 6 and 9 p.m. Pumpkin patch, there will be rides, music, horse and carriage rides, train rides, games, treats, and much more. So we do encourage everybody to come out for this Halloween celebration. That's it.
Just real quick, Mark, nothing but positive feedback. You know, you did a great job. We greatly appreciate it. Manager, just real quick, what's the status for Walnut? We expect it to be done by the end of the week, early next week?
It should be done within the next week, week and a half, then they're gonna move on to Brighton Avenue. Do just some spot concrete work there,
Good.
and then we'll begin the milling and paving.
Thanks.
Mark, all these accolades, if you deserve it, but I see you resigning from the planning board. Maybe we should refuse this.
That's it.
There's so many things I could do, Mayor.
Congratulations.
I've been in there long enough, I think. Thank you, it's a pleasure to serve on the panel.
You did a good job on the planning board.
Okay, let's go.
Communication.
Communications.
One letter of resignation received from Mark Menachini for the planning board of the township of Belleville.
Move we accept it.
Second.
Clerk call roll.
Councilmember Cosarelli?
Yes.
Kennedy?
Yes.
Nattari?
Yes.
Robel?
With reservation, yes.
Strumelberg?
Yes.
Mayor Kimball?
Yes, with regrets. But we have a very qualified individual taking over, which would be Deputy Chief Corval. What is this for introduction?
Ordinance number 1 for introduction, and ordinance to amend the codified ordinances of the Township of Belleville, Chapter 8, Section 2.7, entitled Stopping or Standing Prohibited During Certain Hours on Certain Streets for the Purpose of Street Cleaning.
Make a motion, we move it for introduction.
Second.
Clerk call roll.
Councilmember Cosarelli?
Yes.
Kennedy?
Yes.
Nattari?
Yes.
Robel?
Yes.
Strumelberg?
Yes.
Mayor Kimball?
What is this for second?
Ordinance number 1 for public hearing, an ordinance to amend the revised general ordinances of the Township of Belleville, Chapter 8-2.2, parking prohibited at all times on certain streets.
Make a motion, we move it for public hearing.
Second.
Clerk call roll.
Councilmember Cosarelli?
Yes.
Kennedy?
Yes.
Nattari?
Yes.
Robel?
Yes.
Strumelberg?
Yes.
Mayor Kimball?
Yes. It's a great thing.
Yeah, what are we, Washington Avenue, what are we prohibiting there and where?
Mark?
I don't believe that's Washington Avenue, I thought that was Cleveland Street.
Well, that's the one we introduced.
No,
It
it's the one
says
before that.
Washington Avenue and Little Street.
Are we going, we're going ahead in the agenda?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry to say, I believe we're just, have to find
I hate to
right.
put you on the spot, but it's probably just the prohibited area for the,
For the time.
Yeah, it's
the
adding
corner
Washington,
right there.
That's Washington and Little, yeah.
Washington and Little, just
Basically
adding.
redundant, but yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, it's 25.
it's a corner property.
It is, it's a corner property.
Are we going to enforce it?
Mr. Frantantoni, yes, we're gonna enforce it, it's here. They're prohibiting it now.
Because we're not enforcing the 2-hour limit,
Okay,
like I said, the street there.
thank you.
Make a motion, close public hearing, move for final adoption.
Second.
Clerk call roll.
Councilmember Cosarelli?
Yes.
Kennedy?
Yes.
Nattari?
Yes.
Robel?
Yes.
Strumelberg?
Yes.
Mayor Kimball?
Yes.
Make a motion, open public participation.
Second.
Clerk call roll.
Councilmember Cosarelli?
Yes.
Kennedy?
Yes.
Nattari?
Yes.
Robel?
Yes.
Strumelberg?
Yes.
Mayor Kimball?
Yes. Yes, so you raise your hand first.
What about the Mayor Street between Columbus and Mount Prospect?
Wait, you have to say who you are and where you're from.
Valentino Nucci Jr.,
From where?
Belleville,
No, the street.
Cedar Hill Avenue.
What's the problem, sir? What about? You told me, what about it? What about
What
it?
about?
The road work between Columbus Avenue that's getting worked on now and Mount Prospect. That road has been destroyed for over 50 years.
Mayor Street.
Mayor Street.
Okay,
We would like it redone,
okay.
and we've been promised that for 2 years now.
It's on the list.
Is it on the,
Yeah,
it's on
it's on the
the,
list, yeah. It's
on the
funded
list.
by the Community Development Block Grant Program, Mayor Street, in the amount of $142,570.
it's gonna be done.
Yeah, it's gonna be done.
When we were told 2 years ago that it would be done, after I wrote to the paper and called it the Forgotten Street. I'm sorry, I'm Judy Nucci, 62 Cedar Hill
I know,
Avenue.
but it's on the list to be done.
It's on the list, yeah.
But when,
It should be done by this year, right?
It should be done this year, yeah.
And 17?
well, how come when
17.
my neighbor came and spoke to someone here, I don't know if it was the town engineer or Mr. Tucci, but she was told that it wasn't not going to be done, and the town engineer went to her house. This was
No,
the
I'm
other
sorry,
day.
I'm sorry, I stand corrected.
Okay.
We've submitted this, we've been awarded this money, this is for the 18th.
For
This will be
2018.
done next year.
For next year.
Okay.
Next year, the money is
They
here.
got the money, they got
Right.
the funding for it.
This, it's Mayor Street, Cleveland Street, through the
This,
county.
now,
fund.
wait, this is mayor between Columbus and Mount Prospect,
Mhm.
not the other side of the apartments.
That's what I
That
have.
has to be specified because people
That's, yeah.
do not realize that.
That's what you applied
I
for.
believe the town engineer is aware of that, and that's what's going to be done, yes.
Well, I would just like to say on record, if it's not, all you people do not get any one of my votes all day. I've been saying that
Okay,
because
you're
I've
welcome.
been
You're welcome.
promised this year
Thank
after
you.
year.
You'll be the first one to do it.
Mrs. Frantantoni?
Phyllis Frantantoni, Mount Prospect Avenue. I was wondering if you got in touch with the people that have school on property now about cleaning it up?
School,
Joe
they
Bones
wanted the
property.
inside cleaned up.
Yes, we did contact them, I contacted their attorney, I spoke to him, they said that they will be taking care of it.
When?
They told me as quickly as they can, I know
Well,
there's,
you know what, I think you ought to
If
get
it's,
on
Mrs.
that.
Frantantoni, if it's not cleaned up, they will get a summons, our town yard, if they have to clean it up, we'll clean it up, and we'll put a lien on
I
it.
believe they've also been put on notice by the code enforcement.
Yeah, but you know what, you told me that before, and it never
No,
happened.
I didn't tell you that. I
Well,
told
it
you
was
now.
said before by
I'm telling you
somebody,
now.
and it never happened.
Okay?
And the tax bills came out, and I had asked that somebody put in there about the illegal apartments that are in town, that if they don't go by what the code is and all that, that they will be fined for having an illegal apartment. Nothing come in it. All I hear is yes, yes, yes. Is that the new no? I mean, I don't understand why you
No,
can't
it's
put
not
that
that,
in the
no,
tax bill.
the town attorney was reviewing some language, and as soon as he gets back to us.
For 2 years?
Well, I haven't been doing it for 2 years, I mean.
Yes, it's been 2 years since I've been asking this. I get property tax bill from down South Jersey. They have everything in there. When it comes, it tells you everything that's going on in the town and a lot that you gotta go by. I don't understand this. We got so many illegal apartments in town, and if that's put in there, maybe it'll defer some people about putting these illegal apartments in there. You cannot park with all the illegal apartments. You come on my block and you try to park there after 8 o'clock. God forbid you go out, you cannot park your car. It's just crazy. Something has to be done with all the illegal apartments in there. And this should have been in the tax bill, telling people it's illegal and you will get a fine. So I wish that's something, maybe next tax bill we can get it in.
Maybe we can get that over our robocall.
Maybe. I hope so. And as far as with Mayor Street, they are right. If we have a bad winter, you can forget it. It's going to destroy cars and everything. That is horrendous to drive down. That should have been a first priority this year. You keep telling them next year, next year, next year.
I
That
believe
should be
it
done
was
now.
put in last year, and it wasn't funded.
It wasn't
That's
funded.
why we put it back in again, and it
They
is
got it
funded.
funded.
Well, it should have
The
been.
thing of it is that
Really
Columbus
bad.
Avenue
Really,
wasn't as
you're
bad as Mayor
Sir,
Street.
sir,
Okay.
sir. Our engineer looks at the different roads and he determines which should take priority. That's all I can tell you. Now, if it wasn't funded last year, it's gonna be funded this year for 18. Anyone else want to speak? Mr. Frantantoni?
Yeah, just to follow up on that, it's more than 2 years because, you know, I've brought that tax bill, my wife talking about 8, 10 years ago. And I showed all the things that they put in for the same postage. And we just kept, and Mr. Tucci is excellent person to deal with the public. Everything we ask him, he said yes, but never follows up on it. And we asked about putting in the tax bills, no problem. No. And I don't know what the town attorney's got. We have an ordinance that says the penalties and all. What's he got to review? Make a copy of the ordinance and put it in with the tax bill. I don't know why our illustrious town attorney has to review it. The resolution 12, what's that all about? I read in the bulletin board, it was $35,000 and was settling for $10,000. What's that all about?
I think that's a violation.
Property.
Yeah, the road property.
This is a settlement. There was a dispute between the amount that was billed and the amount that was approved, and there were outside attorneys that were involved, and they went over the amount, and the town attorney actually settled this for $10,000.
And the next one, 13,
Same thing.
it says Washington Avenue. What's the address on Washington Avenue? The resolution doesn't give an address.
It's probably Washington and William, right? I don't know.
I believe that's what it is. We're at a bit of a loss only because the town attorney is ill and not here this evening. But I can get you that address.
Now, who's paying it? The $10,000 for each one, who's paying it? The town?
Town.
The taxpayers? Right. Well, with the Washington Avenue
That's the
property,
Washington Avenue problem.
the 78-102 Washington Avenue,
That's what it is.
if we're settling for $10,000,
Oh, so you know the address. It's 78102.
No, it's on, no, he knows, but on the bulletin board, the front page is just there, the following pages are behind it.
I'll get it.
it doesn't get there, but we're
Yeah,
talking
but-
about 78-102.
Right, that's what it is.
All right.
The other pages are behind the main page.
All right, if we're paying them $10,000, we're overpaying them, because the report he presented to the planning board wasn't worth $150. Thankfully, with Councilman Kennedy's lead, the planning board rejected calling that an area need development, because it's definitely not, and I'll address that at a later time. But and it was so ludicrous, you know, saying that it's a vacant property, and he says it's overdeveloped. They called it overdeveloped. So I don't even know why we're paying $10,000. That was one of the most idiotic things we've ever seen there. Now, I told you the building leaks, and through another leak I found, so the master plan may be increasing the recommendation by, I think, the same engineer, increasing our density tremendously, which is absolutely wrong. We don't need more housing in Belleville. I keep bringing articles. Here's another recent article from the garden state to the warehouse state. And it says how much warehouse space is in demand all over Jersey. And you read the article, and it said because of its proximity to the ports, Newark Airport, the Meadowlands, and New York. And they're talking New Brunswick and Wayne, they're all fighting for it. Well, who is closer than any of them towns than Belleville? We're right here on Route 21. It's 4 miles to the airport. I took a friend there 2 months ago. You know, 20 minutes and you're in the airport. We're right here, Route 3. We get into the New York, the Meadowlands. Why aren't you folks fighting for it?
We are, Mr. Freeman.
Why, did you approach
We are.
Amazon?
We are.
Did you approach Amazon?
No, we didn't approach them.
Okay.
They could be, I don't even know.
We
I don't know
know
who
who
it
it is, we can't.
is. I can't tell you who it is.
Yeah,
I
just a
can't tell you.
national concern. We were advised it's a national concern. We
National
don't know who
concern
it
for
is.
kiddie properties.
Oh, public, I mean, the Kitty site is 24 acres, 23.9, I
That's the
believe. Amazon's looking for 25 acres. I wrote to them through email, and I told them where we are, we're 4 miles, what do you want?
We're being told there's a contract
We're
on
being told there's a
that,
contract,
on that
and I'm
property.
anxious to see it, because I've been told
That's,
that
we're
for
supposed
12
to find out on
years.
Monday.
Well, I mean, you know how many articles I bring about there, so, and once again,
We're waiting to hear, Mr. Frantantoni.
once again, I hope you guys, before you present it to the public, the revision of the master plan, I hope you guys all read it, because you're gonna get help from the taxpayers, and what I'm hearing is in that proposal. It's outrageous, you know, we're jammed in 36,000 people.
And I'm sure you're gonna lead the charge.
And most certainly I will, Mr. Mayor,
Right.
because the elected officials aren't leading anything in this town, and Councilwoman Burton was correct tonight. We gotta get the town back to the way it was. Well, it's 12
We are
years ago,
trying to
I
get the-
destroyed
we're trying to
it.
get the
And now you
trolley
wanna
cars
get back to
back
the way it was.
Nobody wants to do it.
But please, we need this, we don't need high-density housing. We need and we got proof. We just
We
had,
need-
the zoning board just approved the corner of Rutgers and Main, a guy's come with a packing and a shipping warehouse, he's building there. He came from Brooklyn,
We need sensible development in this town.
yes, commercial. We don't need
Sensible
no more.
development.
We don't need more residential.
No
Your own
residential.
consultant said we got a 7%
We need
vacancy
sensible
rate, you
development.
know, because they're living in the basements and attics.
Thank you.
But not in there. So please, let's push for this warehousing where the ideal
Mr.
location.
Fantoni, we are. Thank you very much.
And just one more thing in there. There's just, you know, going around, this new group infiltrating Belleville, calling themselves Believe in Belleville. Their address is 188 Jefferson Street in Newark. I think that's the same address where you got an $8,200 donation from that group last year, Mr. Cosarelli. And their bank is Wells Fargo Bank in Portland, Oregon. So how do they believe in Belleville? You know, so I just want to put that out there. Any of you,
I agree with you this time.
well, agree. So any of you
I agree
involved
with
with
you.
this group,
I
please,
agree with you.
let's put a stop on it.
Thank you. Mr. Fleischman?
Frank Fleischman, 132 Franklin Street. I just wanted to, just wanted to say on behalf of my wife and I, we were very pleased with the progress that's happening in the Silver Lake Firehouse. I mean, they work very, very hard. We've actually made friends with them around, we're our first name basis with the contract now almost. Yeah, she owes them cookies when they're done. You know, so we really, we're really impressed with the amount of work that's going on, sort of thing. And I think one of the what we hear through the grapevine is maybe about 2 more months, hopefully it'll be open.
We hope so.
Yeah,
We hope
okay.
so as well.
I was just also wondering, has the council made any plans about Mr. Longo's seat? Are you going to appoint anybody, or do you have a process ready?
We're gonna have to have a meeting to see if we're gonna appoint somebody, just let that position lay dormant until May election, sir.
I would hope that you would fill it, just because, 7 people,
I know.
All right, thank you.
Make a motion, close public hearing?
Second.
Clerk will roll.
Councilmember Cosarelli?
Yes.
Kennedy?
Yes.
Nattari?
Yes.
Robel?
Yes.
Strumelberg?
Yes,
Mayor Kimball?
Yes.
Make a motion, move the consent agenda,
Second.
second.
Any deletions, Kate?
resolution 1.
No, I didn't dip back on this.
5 and 10?
Oh, you can't vote.
Clerk will roll on the consent agenda.
You give me 1 minute, Mayor? Councilmember Cosarelli?
Yes.
Kennedy?
Yes.
Nattari?
Yes.
Robel?
Yes.
Strumelberg?
Yes.
Mayor Kimball?
Move resolution number 1.
Second.
Clerk will roll.
Councilmember Cosarelli?
Yes.
Kennedy?
No.
Nattari?
Yes.
Robel?
Yes.
Strumelberg?
Yes,
Mayor Kimball?
Yes.
Move resolution number
5.
5.
Second.
Clerk will roll.
Councilmember Cosarelli? Kennedy?
Yes.
Nattari?
Yes.
Robel?
Yes.
Strumelberg?
yes,
Mayor Kimball?
Yes.
Move resolution number 10.
Second. You just wants a roll call and recognize that form, right?
okay.
Clerk will roll.
Councilmember Cosarelli?
Yes.
Kennedy?
Yes.
Nattari?
Yes.
Robel?
Yes.
Strumelberg?
Yes,
Mayor Kimball?
Yes.
Make a motion, take the resolution off the table, number 1.
We can pass it, right?
Yeah, Mara, talk to him. Mara, speak up, please.
Yes, I had a conversation with the judge, there are no conflicts schedule-wise, and he's ready to go.
Okay, I'll second.
Councilmember Cosarelli?
Yes.
Kennedy?
Yes.
Nattari?
Yes.
Robel?
Yes,
Strumelberg?
Yes,
Mayor Kimball?
Yes.
Make a motion, move resolution number 1.
second.
Councilmember Cosarelli?
Yes.
Kennedy?
Yes.
Nattari?
Yes.
Robel?
Yes,
Strumelberg?
yes,
Mayor Kimball?
Yes.
New business, I make a motion, resolution authorizing the Township of Belleville to approve W.E. Tillerman's purchase order number 1701964 for the new sweeper. Move it.
second.
Clerk call the roll.
Councilmember Cosarelli?
Yes.
Kennedy?
Yes.
Nattari?
Yes.
Robel?
Yes,
Strumelberg?
yes.
Mayor Kimball?
Yes. Motion adjourned?
Make a motion, we adjourn.
You, go ahead.
Can I? Okay, I would just like to thank our town manager. I had a few people come from the Tuesday Club Senior Citizen saying that we did not have an American flag at that center. So I did call Mr. Tucci, and Mr. Tucci got on the job, and I'm happy to say it's up, and we even got invited to the Seniors Club. That's it.
I have two quick things. First, I wanted to recognize Vinnie for his helping us out with the firehouse and negotiating in that change order. I know you don't get recognized for doing that stuff. The other one is, the Kidder property is definitely, something we're all cognizant of, we've all been worried about for the last 20, 30 years. And I know that there's some things happening, hopefully next week you guys can report back to us exactly what's going on with that property. But I know that, we'd like to have some sort of warehouse possible, so we'll see what we're doing. I'm good then. We're good.
Motion adjourned?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Yes.
Yeah.